It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you...
Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
If he asks coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of the team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Open man downfield is Hill. Down the right sideline. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 64 yards. And the Dolphins go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out, a player who turned a memorable debut into now a 6-year NFL career out of Southern Miss, Nick Mullins.
Brandon, I know he isn't at the status of some of the elite names in this league, but I do know he's an absolute fighter because he's heard all the criticisms. He's read the articles that say he isn't good enough to be the starter, and he absolutely does not care. All he wants to do is prove every doubter wrong and show that he belongs in this spot. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A tough throw there across his body. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Berrios. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Tua. A short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Waddle's first catch, good for a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Tua setting up shop to throw again. Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 36 yards. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Now a play fake here on first down. On the move to his left. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 21-0 our score after one. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They go play action here on first down. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. On second down, Tua. It's Hill, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Tua. A short throw there. That's to Smythe, the tight end.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Tua wants to throw it on second down. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. Big strides, look at him go. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Durham Smythe, 61 yards. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 28-0.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll drop to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. They try to catch him by surprise there on 3rd down, but this defense, they were all over the jet sweep.
And it's oftentimes all about what you're doing on the backside of the defense, whether it's the defensive end or the outside backer, who's setting the edge. And if they don't get blown off the line of scrimmage, they can really wreck a play. And in this case, they were able to make the tackle for a loss as a result.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Now we get Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Miami offense back out there.
Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Longer now for this end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this 3rd quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They cut him on back-to-back plays, breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play, and on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10.
Right at the 50-yard line.
Running right, here's Achane.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Tua going to throw. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Hey, get set.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And Jefferson's going to have the Vikings first down as he's going to get this down to the 45-yard line.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Melvin Ingram picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Here's Tua. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's got it. Touchdown. Durham Smythe, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Dolphins add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They're going to look to throw.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
A first down run there by Mostert as he'll get this forward for a gain of about 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. The 20. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. 63 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Melvin Ingram getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.